What is going on today, guys? Welcome back. Hopefully you guys all had a great week. Hopefully you guys are all gearing up to have a good, productive weekend, working on stuff, maybe not working on stuff, but have a good weekend regardless. So anyway, we are gonna jump into a product unboxing and install in today's video. Should be a pretty easy install. So I hope, so I think it should be, should be. Anyway, before we show you guys what we are working on today and what we're gonna be installing, little public service announcement, just a tiny little rant. We've been making videos for a very, very long time, about 4 or so years. And one of the things that I have strived and tried to do on this channel is showcase nothing but the best parts. I don't put anything on my trucks that I don't want to, that I haven't researched myself and actually found out and convinced myself that this is actually the best. So I just want to make that very, very clear. I never want to showcase or show you guys anything that I wouldn't put on my own vehicles, and that is not one of the best, if not the best of the best out there. So plenty of great products on the market today. That is my entire goal, is to showcase things that I like, that I want to put on my trucks, and that I think that you guys would benefit from. I would never want to tell you guys or even suggest to you guys to go purchase something or do something that is not going to benefit you. And if it's something that I don't even want to put on my own truck, I've never ever done that, and nor do I ever want to. So just keep that in mind. The stuff that lands here, you can trust. The companies that I tell you, you can trust. Unless you just flat out disagree with my opinion, and that's fine. You know what? That is fine. That is the great thing about America. Everyone can have their own opinion, and obviously, seeing that the channel is named Greg A, like this is the Greg A opinion. So I do my best and do a ton of research behind the scenes. Sometimes you just can't trust things. So we work with companies that we trust, and we do our own research. And anyway, that's just a little rant before I show you guys what we're getting involved with today. So just know that if there is, even if there was something that I thought was the best of the best, and we put it on, or whether we have a little install hiccup, or a little bit down the road we have either a failure or a mishap, I always let you guys know that, and we dive into maybe why, if it was an install error or what have you. This is a journey that we've all been on for quite a long time, and I was always raised honesty is the best policy, and that is what I have tried to stick to the utmost, and show you guys, just showcase you guys stuff, I'm losing my voice. Good quality, solid stuff. So anyway, not gonna keep going on and on about that. This product has had multiple videos on it. I know a lot of you guys have seen it. You probably already may have formulated your own opinions. Took me a little while. Again, this product's been out for a little bit. Took me a little while to kind of formulate my own and kind of go from there. Now, what we are gonna be installing, everyone's probably wondering now, I've kind of built up the hype. What we're gonna be installing is one of the new Banks rear differential covers. Now, they just came out with a blacked out version, which is what we have in this box, and we are going to get into that. Prepare to smile, look at that. Anyway, so what's my background on diff covers here? So we've had trucks for quite a while. Let's just kind of run through it real quick here. So this first gen has a Dana 80 in the back. It's got an Ultimate 80 diff cover, which kind of resembles a stock cover with just some additional support on the actual caps that hold the ring and pinion in there. We have these two trucks right here, our 2005 and 2008, which is what we have had the longest. And then we've got a race truck over here that doesn't have a factory axle underneath it. This just has a factory diff cover. But what we've got underneath both my 05 and my 08, here we go. We have got Mag high-tech diff covers on here. We've had them on here for, probably I wouldn't say it's the first thing that I did, but when you're talking about doing dress-up cosmetic, like things that you can see from underneath and all that stuff, we've had these diff covers on here a very, very long time, multiple fluid changes, so I'm pretty well versed on the ins and outs. And again, a diff cover is not a overly complicated part, so you think, until someone like Banks spends a whole entire year breaking down every little detail about a diff cover. Like, if you talk about going overboard, and again, we're gonna get on a little Banks rant here. So if you wanna talk about someone who goes above and beyond, overkill, has the any resource that Banks wants, they have, or they will get to prove what they're going to sell you is the best. This diff cover, just, if any of you guys have watched the videos, and again, I will link all of the videos down below. Go give their channel a follow, or specifically just watch the main video that's down below. We're talking about dyno testing. We're talking about buying every other single diff cover out there. We're talking about doing tests and proving that it's the best beyond a shadow of a doubt. Who spends an entire year developing a diff cover? Banks does. So anyway, I'm well versed on what a Mag High-Tech basically installs and fluid changes. You know, there's a couple things that I don't really like about the Mag High-Tech now that there's something better out on the market now. So I've never really had a problem with a Mag High-Tech. And again, let's get one thing clear right off the bat too. Will installing a Mag High-Tech diff cover blow up your rear axle? I'm pretty sure that after 200,000 miles on this truck right here, I think we've proven a point that a Mag High-Tech, I'm not, by no means am I telling you to go stop driving your truck because your rear axle is going to blow up if you have this diff cover. That's not what I'm saying at all. Please don't ever think that. I honestly think that this is the best diff cover out on the market. Previous to this, I've had Mag High-Techs. Now, why did I even choose a Mag High-Tech to put on either one of these trucks? Now, extra fluid capacity is cool and great. It's actually more expensive when you go to change all the fluid if you're actually counting dollars on maintenance, but they look cool. They look cool. I like the way they look. I still like the way they look. I like the way the Banks diff cover, but there's no disputing the actual factual data of why this cover is a better cover. And we're gonna jump into a couple of those little details, but I have Mag High-Techs on both of these trucks. Now, the information that Gale has put out there and that he has found is a flat back cover, like the Mag High-Tech. It's got a flat back where this one is not, has improper fluid dynamics. And again, if I will put some clips up on the screen, I'm gonna steal them from Banks. I'm gonna showcase you guys a little bit of some clips right here that showcase how the fluid's working in both covers, and that's one of the major problems with the flatback covers. Anyway, let's unbox this thing. You get a little love note from Gale Banks, whether you want that or not. We'll put that off to the side for now. We're gonna try and do this one-handed, which is always a challenge. Come on, get out of there. Get on out of there. And of course, we'll get into that, but gotta have Amsoil in there. So here it is. Here's the blacked out cover. What I want to show you guys is the inside of this, because that's the obviously where the factual data of why this cover is better. So as you can see, the gear oil actually will come over top of the ring and pinion now. Cooling fins are great, but you gotta have fins on the inside. They're gonna absorb the heat to transfer to the outside here. So these outside fins work well only because they have heat soaks inside here and have air movement. And again, the whole air movement thing is the biggest, one of the other, I mean, there's a lot, there's actually, you know, you never knew how improper a aftermarket part could be until someone like Banks comes along and just scrutinizes every little detail. And that is what he's very good at. That he's very good at, you know, every little detail, which I can appreciate and what I like, because I'm a very detail orientated person myself. So on top of that, let's go over some other features on this bad boy. If I can look at that, I'm doing everything one-handed today and actually not being too bad about it. So here it is out of the package. Massive cooling fins. So cooling fin coverage, you can see how deep this is. They are like a couple inches thick, where the Mag High-Techs are only very small. So way more heat absorption in this cover. and you can see on the inside is very, very important as well. O-ring groove, where a Mag Hi-Tech still uses a gasket. Again, I've never had one of my gaskets leak on that. Of course, it could have the potential to, and I can only speak for the Mag Hi-Techs. I don't know about any other covers out there, whether they use a gasket, whether they use silicone. I call it silicone because it's silly. I hate silicone. But anyway, I've never had an issue with one of those gaskets, but O-ring is the best. You know, all the fleece products, they're all O-ring fittings. O-rings are just the best of the best. You don't have to worry about gaskets and all that other stuff. So we got the cooling fins, we got the O-ring inside here. Hopefully I can hit all of these major key points because there's a ton of them. So right here, there's a sight glass that you can actually see through. Now on the Mag Hi-Techs, they give you a dipstick up here, which again, I've only ever had a real problem actual reading. When you put new fluid in, it's so clear that a lot of times you have to screw, you gotta get it a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. But if you don't even have to think about it, it makes it that much easier. Now again, I'm trying to kind of power through this and just bring out some points. Now, what makes the best of the best? So you got a Mag Hi-Tech. That was the best of the best. It has a lot of great, cool features. Now, something new on the market, it improves on every single one of that. It tries to make your life easier. It tries to improve on every little detail of that. So the sight glass, while a dipstick will work, it works. The sight glass is just that much easier. You don't have to think about it. All of their plugs in here, because like I said, I've watched the videos. The plugs that we have in here are just a standard 3/8 drive. When we go to install, I'll show you guys that. But it's like the same as like an oil change on this Cummins engine right here. I know it takes 12 quarts. I rarely ever check after I dump 3 gallons in. I know that's what it takes. That's it. I don't have to think about it. I know that it's a 3/8 drive ratchet to take it off. My oil change takes me really 10 to 15 minutes if I'm really moving, you know what I mean? So the fact that they have simplified a lot of things on this cover, and again, you're not changing your diff oil like you are changing your oil, but when you have to do it, time is always money. And speaking of that, this cover, because they have done so much research on the fluid dynamics, they have stuck with the factory distance between the cover and the ring gear and have kept the factory 4-quart capacity. Now, what that does as far as money goes is you don't have to spend 7 to 8 quarts like you do on a Mag Hi-Tech. That's half the price of fluid. Now, if you're using some good quality fluid back behind here, it's not cheap. So cutting that cost in half and improving all this stuff makes it even better. Now, what they've done here, which is also a really, really cool thing, they've put this fill on a little bit of an angle, which is really, really nice. Now, if you don't want to use Amsoil, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because you probably live under a rock if you don't, but the one thing that Banks has teamed up with, they've teamed up with Amsoil, which, you know, is so awesome because obviously we are Team Amsoil to death. But Amsoil has their 7590 gear oil in bags. These are flexible bags that you can twist, you can do. This is just so the easy pack. It makes your life easy. Again, you can call me whatever you want, but if something's going to make my life easier and better, I'm gonna go that route. Like, I can't tell you how many times I have struggled with solid gear oil bottles, getting a funnel, getting a fluid, dripping stuff all over the ground. These things are so awesome. Now, when you purchase this, if you wanna purchase this on Banks website, you can get the Banks Amsoil install kit with it. And again, it's 4 quarts. There's 4, I would call them bottles, but they're actual bags. So, factory 4-quart capacity. Also, another super, super nice thing about this. So I think this is the blacked out version. I do believe that they have a raw one, and I believe they do have a silver, which is kind of like the contrast cut. And I think that pretty much, man, whoo, A lot of talking. I know I talk kind of fast because sometimes it is a lot of information that I really, you know, I get excited. I'm a passionate kind of guy, and there's a lot of it, so I could try to get through it so we can install this thing. But that's what we're gonna do. I believe I've hit all of the major points. Oh, the air movement. Okay, sorry. Boom. Air movement. So what this does, air actually goes underneath the diff cover, shoots up through these fins right here, and air movement moves across of the fins, and that is what actually will reduce temperatures. So what we got is we've got a diff cover that reduces temperatures, which reducing temperature and heat is what kills everything. We all know setting things on fire and all of the transmission stuff, heat kills. Period. Anything, any type of lubricant, especially heat is what breaks things down. So actually reduces temperature, which when you reduce the temperature, you pick up all kinds of benefits. And then the fluid dynamics of not breaking down your fluid with it, you know, smashing against the wall and not actually going anywhere. And then inside here, you actually have fins that actually push oil out to your axle tubes instead of just kind of meandering out there whenever they feel like it. So again, we're gonna jump off of the factual data here. And again, these are not claims, these are facts. And the way you get facts is you prove it doing controlled tests. And that's what they did. And that's what they spent a whole year on the dyno and making custom flat, like see-through diff covers to test all this. Anyway, we're gonna pull the truck around. Don't mind the shop. We can't fit this bad boy in the shop, so we're gonna do it outside. It is a hot one out there today, guys, so we're gonna get to installing this. Also comes at a perfect time to put this on because my dually, my 2018, is actually right at the 30,000 mile service where you change all of your gear oils and all that stuff anyway. So to change your factory gear oil on that truck, you gotta pop the diff cover completely off, so why not replace it with the best of the best. Again, guys, this was not forced on me, sent to me, hey, make a video on this. I actually wanted this. I requested it from them and was like, hey, I'll put one of those on the dually, the blackout version. Woo, hotness. Nice big parking lot I made for you so you can turn around.
Man, I appreciate that more than you know.
Take it easy. Thanks. Don't think I really need to give you guys an instruction manual on how exactly to remove and replace a diff cover. It is just a couple bolts around there, drain the fluid out, put the new one on, and we'll go over some details on the Banks one on what I like about what's different about the Banks cover installation that I like a little bit better versus the Mag High-Techs and versus the stock one. Obviously, first and foremost, fluid changes on an aftermarket cover, any aftermarket cover, are much nicer because they have a drain plug. You don't actually have to take the cover off, which is super, super annoying and time consuming. So anyway, put you guys on fast forward. Let's pop off this factory diff cover. We'll go from there. all set. This thing is completely on there, done. A couple details that I did miss in the beginning there. So the rear drain plug and the top drain plug, or bottom, I should say bottom and top drain plug, both magnetic. Here's the sight glass up close and personal. A little bumpy there. You guys can see, the fluid clearly. I believe this is like a contrast sight glass, so you can always see. Really nice detail. And also another nice detail, look at the hardware that they include with this. That is some nice 12-point hardware. Went ahead and painted this bracket up here so it didn't look like a complete eyesore, but here is the finished product. And again, the rear drain plug, which is a little bottom drain plug, a little hard to see, but up in there, they actually put this at a spot where it is the most able to kind of drain all of the fluid out. It's at a really nice low spot in the actual cover, so you don't have to worry about ever draining fluid and having stuff stuck in there. This gets it all out. But that is it. Let me back up and show you guys this thing from the back if this creeper doesn't try and kill me right now. Right there, boys. That is the money shot right there. That looks so good. Oh yeah. Back up a little bit. She's a thick girl. She looks good. So 2 thumbs up. Didn't really hit any points that I would say really bothered me installing it. Very easy install, nice hardware. I was a little worried about that bracket up there. I'm like, man, if they didn't like account for that bracket up on the flange, that would really not work. But use the nice hardware up there. Everything worked perfectly, and yeah, we're good. No snags, no issues. And this thing should perform just as good as it did on all of their testing, and help this fluid stay nice. And those Amsoil bags, man, those Amsoil bags were a lifesaver. That was actually one of the few times that I've ever used those bags, because they came out just a little while ago. But man, those Amsoil bags worth every single penny, without even taking into the fact that Amsoil is literally the best fluid out there. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. We have got a delivery coming for something for here. It's pretty big. I'm pretty excited about it. But anyway, 2 thumbs up for that Banks diff cover. I'm sold on it. I know you guys will be too. Again, go check out that video down below. If you guys want anything Banks related, my discount code is always down in the description. Entire site, I believe it works on. So make sure you guys go take advantage of that discount. That is really just to help you guys out. Nothing for me. Wanted to give you guys something, some incentive. So make sure you guys go check that out. And that is going to wrap up this video. It is hot out there, very hot. We need to get some AC in the shop. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.